Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Morrow. I'm the CEO of American Eagle Gold, traded on the TSX Venture under the symbol AE. With me here today is Neil Prowse. Neil is the project lead at our NAC project in British Columbia. It's a copper porphyry project. We just released our first drill hole today, 125 meters of 1.02% copper equivalent with an 833 meter of 0.33% copper equivalent. Neil, tell us about this first hole and why it is significant.
Yeah, this was it was collaring in on nearby a historically higher grade gold zone in a previously discovered shallow porphyry. And yeah, right off the bat, we could tell this hole was going to be quite good. We were seeing quite a bit of disseminated and veinlet hosted chalcopyrite mineralization, very little pyrite. Lots of quartz veining near surface, and then quickly at about 250 meters depth got into a large intercept of Babine porphyry stock intrusion. It was also variably mineralized with chalcopyrite and bornite. These assay results were, to be honest, better than expected, especially for gold near top of hole. And the deeper down intercept of high copper was very nice to see as well. And so far, everything else we've drilled on the property to date has been more of the same or visually better. So yeah, very, very encouraging first hole, and hopefully more encouraging results to come.
You mentioned this historical drilling, but we hadn't seen a hole like this, the width of 1.02% copper equivalent. The best hole we saw was started a lot further down, not necessarily from surface. So this, was better than what you expected.
Yeah. We're collaring about 50 meters away from the historical highest grade hole, which was around 300 meters of 0.5 copper equivalent. So this is significantly better overall. And the near surface drilling is, it's pretty spectacular from a gold point of view. And very consistent copper as well. And something to note in that first upper intercept, it's not like that grade is smeared by some very high grade narrow zones. It's a broad zone of good gold and very respectable copper, until we get down to about 250 meters, where we enter that intrusion, and the mineralization character is a little bit different. But we're still seeing lots of encouragement deeper down as well. So yeah, the historical drilling seemed to either skim this zone or miss it. And if this is anything like other Babine porphyry sweet deposits in the area, some of the highest grade is marginal to that big intrusive body. And so what we've defined in the first three holes is that contact is fairly steeply dipping to the north, and it's quite likely that the historical drilling just didn't go deep enough. So American Eagle here, by taking a somewhat risky, bold approach and drilling deep, it seems to have paid off here. And yeah, we can just wait for the next assay results.
Well, it's exciting. For a main hole, you can't really ask for much better. So are you optimistic about the next few holes? And can you describe, holes 2 to 5? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, so because that main intrusive contact is quite a bit deeper down as we get to the north, we're seeing a lot more volcanics, very andesitic volcanics, very similar to what we see in the top 250 meters of hole 1, and similarly mineralized. So, visually, there's a lot of encouragement. That said, we can't see the gold, so we just have to wait to see what the labs say. But yeah, like I said, visually, we're seeing very similar lithologies with very similar styles of mineralization in holes 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, it's great to see.
So are you seeing lots of chalco and bornite in the visuals for the next couple of holes?
Yeah, more so chalco shallowly. And when we get down below sort of 300 meters to 400 meters, the bornite really picks up, even in the volcanics, which is very encouraging to see.
All right, Neil, we have the porphyry, but it seems to be getting juiced up by an epithermal system. Is there any evidence to suggest that this is a telescope system?
Yeah, so we don't see broad intercepts of epithermal style mineralization, though we do see hints of it at varying depths through the drilling. So we're seeing some banded coliform quartz and chalcopyrite veining, which is good to see, with associated sericite clay alteration flanking these veins. So, nothing conclusive that would say, yeah, we're onto an epithermal part of the system. I think we're very much close to the porphyry core as it is, but there's we can't rule it out. There could definitely be a secondary phase of porphyry style mineralization, of which we are on the fringes here, and seeing that epithermal style mineralization overprinting the disseminated porphyry style mineralization we're seeing.
All right, thanks, Neil. In terms of NAC, what's the blue sky potential of it? What's the potential footprint that we see? Grade? What are we exactly looking at?
Well, initially it was a pretty compelling geophysical target with a coincident resistivity high, coincident magnetic susceptibility high, and all flanked by an annular IP chargeability high. So a pretty classic porphyry geophysical signature. And that's at a minimum kilometer by kilometer, likely 1.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers, sort of central to the NAC property. Historical drilling has defined shallow mineralization along a strike of in excess of 1 kilometer from the south to the north. And we're seeing mineralization down to a depth of almost 1 kilometer. So there's some pretty big size potential. And the blue sky for us, I guess, is that it's open in pretty much every direction. We've just tested a north-south strike extent to give us an initial handle on one lateral direction of size while drilling deep. Our next hole is stepping out about 200 meters to the east and drilling to the west. So that should give us some size extent there as well. And it's just a matter of how broad does it expand in all the other directions? Because right now, every indication is that this is open.
So long story short, this is early days. There's a lot of runway. We're just starting to begin to understand what this deposit could be. But in terms of blue sky, this has a potential to be multi-billion ton deposit, but we're just at the beginning now, and we're excited. So, Neil, is there anything that you want to leave the investors with before we go?
No, it's a very exciting project to be a part of, especially coming back to something that might have been overlooked from only shallow historical drilling. So it's always nice to come back in and test a hypothesis and actually have it. Point of view, this is pretty fun. So yeah, it's really cool to be a part of.
Okay, well, there it is. Thank you very much, Neil Prowse. He's the lead geo at our NAC project near Smithers, BC. Our company is American Eagle Gold. We're traded as AE on the TSX Venture. We just released our first assays today. Again, 125 meters at 1.02%, over a bigger interval of 833 meters at 0.33% copper equivalent. We have 6 more holes that we're going to get assayed. We have a lot of news coming out, so we'll be having news over the next couple of months. We're very excited about the potential. This is just early days, so please continue to watch and follow our story. Lots more to come. Thank you very much, and thank you, Neil.